They thought I was too soft, too kind. They thought they could use me. Manipulate may treat me like dirt and get away with it. They never expected me to play their game as well as they did. Welcome to my channel. Today I'll read from a user. Have you ever seen a photo that broke your heart? I have! It was my entire family standing on a yacht in the Bahamas, champagne glasses raised, smiles wide. And me? I was sitting alone in my Chicago kitchen, staring at that picture like a knife through the chest. That night, I made a decision. This game was over. 9 hours later, my daughter-in-law Jessica was screaming so loud that the neighbors called the police. If you're watching this, subscribe and tell me where you're tuning in from. I need your support because what I'm about to share isn't just a story. It's about what happens when family loyalty collides with betrayal. And believe me, revenge tastes sweetest when they underestimate exactly who they're dealing with. It all started on December 28th, a cold evening when Jessica cornered me in my own kitchen. Her voice dripped with that syrupy sweetness she'd perfected in 3 years of marriage to my son, Stephen. Oh, Margaret, she cooed. I'm so sorry, but there's just no room on the yacht. And honestly, it's more of a trip for the younger ones anyway, late night dancing, parties. You'd be miserable. Her words were dipped in honey, but her eyes betrayed the truth. This wasn't about space. It was about erasing me. I forced a smile. I nodded. I even pretended I understood. But inside, I was crushed. This was the same woman I had welcomed into my family as a daughter. The same son I had sacrificed everything for. And now, they were laughing on a yacht. While I sat alone at my kitchen table, scrolling through photos I wasn't supposed to see, the message was clear. You don't belong. But here's the thing about me, when you push me into a corner, I don't stay quiet. I push back. That night, I picked up the phone, and with one quiet conversation, the game changed. Jessica thought she had locked me out. She had no idea I held a key that could unlock a storm. 9 hours later, screams. Jessica's voice rang through the neighborhood, raw with fear and rage. She was shrieking so loudly that the neighbors dialed 911. Police cars pulled up. Lights flashed. Stephen stood frozen, bewildered. And me, I stood silently in the corner, calm, steady, watching everything unfold. All her schemes, all her cruelty, all her smug little digs crumbled in one night. The woman who told me I didn't belong on a yacht now stood humiliated in her own home, her lies exposed, her pride shattered. And I didn't have to scream. I didn't have to fight. One call. That's all it took. Revenge doesn't always come from shouting or slamming doors. Sometimes it comes quietly. A single phone call, a single truth revealed at the right time. That night, I learned something powerful. The people who underestimate you are always the most shocked when you strike back. So let's talk about it. Have you ever been underestimated? Share your story below. I can't wait to read them. If you liked this, show some love and subscribe for more daily doses of motivation. Don't forget to join our community. Here's another great one. When my sister told me to keep my mouth shut or I would be cut off from our family inheritance, I smiled. My father is a billionaire and has left us a letter stating we will inherit half of his estate if we follow 3 conditions. For 30 years, my sister and I tried to fulfill these conditions, which included helping others, taking care of mother, and not fighting each other. Every year, my sister said that I had done enough and argued we should take less money so we could fulfill the conditions. Finally, when my father died, we met together and read the letter aloud. My sister was shocked when I revealed I'd kept a copy and I told her that I had helped more than twice as many people as her. My sister argued, but it didn't matter because according to our father's will, we each had to sign a document agreeing to the terms. We both signed and got full control of our half of the inheritance. I recently found out that my boyfriend of 4 years has been cheating on me. He lives with me and has for the past 2 years. I feel completely violated and betrayed, but I also feel numb. Even though I still love him, I don't know what to do. Please, help me. Thank you for sharing your story. Wow, it sounds like you've been through quite a lot lately. Finding out that your boyfriend has been cheating on you must be incredibly painful, especially since you've been together for 4 years and he lives with you. It's completely understandable that you're feeling violated, betrayed, and numb. Those are all very natural reactions to such a traumatic experience. But now you say that you don't know what to do. Well, here's the thing. You actually already know what you need to do. Deep down, your subconscious mind is guiding you towards healing and moving forward. What you need is clarity, the ability to tap into that inner wisdom and bring it to the surface. Once you do that, you'll clearly see what steps you need to take. And if you're wondering how to achieve that clarity, well, it's simple. You need to heal yourself. When you heal, you gain clarity. Without clarity, you'll keep doubting yourself, questioning your choices, and seeking advice from others. But the truth is, you already have all the answers within you. Here's a practical approach. Take a few moments to close your eyes and ask yourself, what do I truly desire? You'll likely realize that you want to move out of that living situation. End the relationship and focus on self-healing and personal growth. Once you have that clarity, put it into action. End the relationship and find a new place to live. Remember, this is your journey. Don't let anyone else dictate it for you. Not even your boyfriend. You deserve so much better. So heal yourself, gain clarity, and take action. Trust me, you'll emerge stronger and wiser than ever before. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this content, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Your support means the world to me. Together, we can continue to inspire and uplift one another. Thanks again for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.
This is the host. And if you didn't know, this is where the most addictive stories come to life. Subscribe to this channel and join a community of over 10 million viewers who can't get enough of these stories. You can also find us on social media. But be careful. Once you open that door, you won't be able to close it. This is a place where you can lose hours of your day getting lost in stories that feel real. We'll bring you one new episode every week. So if you want to be the first to watch, click the subscribe button and never miss an episode again. And let's jump into the story. Have you ever seen a photo that broke your heart? I have. It was my entire family, standing on a yacht in the Bahamas, champagne glasses raised, smiles wide. The image practically screamed joy and unity. But the kicker? I was nowhere in that picture. In me. I was sitting alone in my Chicago kitchen, staring at that picture like a knife through the chest. My son Steven, his wife Jessica, my 2 grandkids, even my elderly mother-in-law, they were all on that yacht except for me. It was as if I was erased from existence. That night I grappled with a storm of emotions, anger, betrayal, hurt. For a moment I considered letting it go. After all, they were going to the Bahamas. A part of me wanted to say, enjoy your trip, forget about me. But then I looked around my own house. The silence was deafening. The laughter from the family photos still echoed in my ears. Suddenly, it wasn't just about me being left behind. It was about them not understanding the bond we shared, the memories we'd created. And that's when it hit me. This game was over. I reached for my phone. My fingers trembled as I dialed a number. On the other end, a familiar voice picked up. And in that one conversation, I laid everything out. My hurt, my anger, my confusion. Then came the question, the one that shifted everything. Have you heard from Jessica lately? The woman who had become my daughter-in-law through marriage was now distancing herself from her own husband's family. It was surreal. As I listened to those words, a chill ran down my spine. The realization was like a punch to the gut. Jessica hadn't just excluded me from their trip. She had been keeping secrets, fostering a rift between me and my own son. 9 hours later, as I stood in my kitchen, a different kind of storm was brewing. The gentle breeze outside was replaced by dark clouds and thunder. A mirror was lying on my counter, reflecting my determined face back at me. In my hand I held a letter, each word a calculated strike. The letter was for Jessica, and it contained all the details of our conversation, every word she had spoken. It was a full account of the deceit, the lies, the exclusion she had inflicted on me. As the rain poured outside, mirroring the torrent of emotions within me, I added a postscript, a warning that should have chilled her to the bone. I informed her that I had spoken to her grandmother, the same grandmother who was now on that distant yacht. The irony was thick in the air. Her own grandmother, the one she had likely boasted about the trip to, now knew the truth. Then I sent the letter. With a trembling hand, I pressed send. The message zipped through the digital highways, hurtling towards its recipient. I watched as the delivery notification appeared. The letter had arrived. Now, I waited. Waited for the whispers to reach the yacht. Waited for the ripples of truth to spread. Hours turned into a tense countdown. Then the messages started pouring in. My phone, which had been silent for days, now buzzed with activity. The first message was from my mother-in-law. It simply said, "Thank you." The shock, the gratitude, it was palpable. Then came the calls. First from my son, his voice a mix of confusion and fear. Then from Jessica, her voice strained, her words a jumble of panic and regret. What they didn't realize, what no one realized, was that I wasn't just reacting. I was strategizing. I had laid the groundwork. I had planted seeds of doubt, ensuring that my side of the story would be heard. The game had changed. I wasn't the naive mother-in-law they had underestimated. I was a force to be reckoned with. Jessica's calls kept coming, each one more frantic than the last. At first, she tried to downplay it, claiming the letter contained nothing substantial, but her attempts at denial fell flat. She was trapped in her own web of lies. The truth, once unleashed, has a way of spreading. Soon every secret, every hidden motive, every hurtful comment Jessica had made came to light. Her manipulation, her arrogance, her belief that she could erase me from my own family's life. It was all exposed. And then the final blow. The very grandmother she had hoped would remain in the dark confronted her about the letter. Jessica's facade crumbled. Her carefully constructed world, built on lies and exclusion, started to collapse. Days turned into a whirlwind. News of Jessica's behavior spread like wildfire. Friends, colleagues, even acquaintances weighed in, sharing their experiences with her. A pattern of deceit, manipulation, and control emerged. Jessica found herself isolated, not because I had engineered it, but because her own actions had driven people away. As for my son, he was caught in the crossfire. The son I had nurtured, loved, and supported now seemed distant, confused. He tried to mediate, to bridge the divide, but the chasm was too wide. The damage done by years of Jessica's manipulation was too profound. I didn't revel in their pain. I understand what it's like to be trapped in a cycle of deceit. I have been there, lived it. But I also knew it was time to move forward. I couldn't keep pouring energy into a relationship that had become a toxic drain. In the midst of the chaos, I found solace in my support system, friends, siblings, and most importantly, my grandchildren. They reminded me of the love, the genuine love that shouldn't be overshadowed by bitterness or hatred. Slowly, I started to heal. Therapy helped peel back layers of trauma and taught me how to navigate the labyrinth of grief. It was a journey, a path that sometimes felt long and lonely, but also one that led to a stronger, wiser me. Looking back, I wouldn't trade the experience. It was a crash course in resilience, a testament to the strength I never knew I possessed. I learned to rely on myself, to trust my instincts, and to recognize that sometimes letting go is the bravest act of all. In the end, I walked away from the situation with my head held high, knowing that I had faced the darkness and emerged stronger. So if you're facing your own battles, hold on to this. Your pain, your struggles, they are shaping you, forging you into someone more resilient, more compassionate, and yes, more cunning. Never underestimate the power of a quiet woman. Sometimes the quietest ones are carrying the loudest truths.